Hi folks, this is Cynthia from Kiwi Urban Homestead, and today I thought you might enjoy a tour of my greenhouse to see what's growing in there this spring, getting ready to plant out starting very soon. The greenhouse has been made from recycled windows, so it was fairly inexpensive to construct and quite easy to put together, and is very useful because I can start things a bit earlier in the season and extend my growing season. Inside the greenhouse we have some gravel paths which make keeping it a bit tidier easy and walking nice and easy. Just inside the door here I've got a wee mandarin tree which will go out into the garden this summer, and a chili plant I rescued from the local hardware store looking very sad. It's starting to revive a little bit, hopefully it will come together. And we have got a couple of cyclamens and a passion fruit vine, some additional broccoli left over from what I planted out, which is also going to get planted out soon, and a lemon balm which is really enjoying being underneath the tap because of all the extra moisture. This bench came from FreeCycle, so it cost me nothing. The double sink isn't hooked up with taps yet, though it will be, but it's quite convenient to have those sinks to put seed raising mix and potting mix in while potting up on the bench. Notice board is very handy, as is the piece of white panelling that I've used as a whiteboard. And underneath the benches I have got some freezer baskets mounted as drawers to keep some of the smaller pots in, and that's done simply by taking a piece of angled wood and a square piece of wood and nailing them on underneath. Works really well as drawer slides. More baskets for pots, very convenient. Toilet roll tubes, great for growing some of the larger seeds in. A greenhouse frame designed to have a plastic cover on it that I found for free at the local recycling centre, and have set up in here to give me plenty of room to put shelves full of plants. So let's take a look at what's growing in here at the moment. On the first set of shelves in this tub we have some clary sage, some common sage, some catnip and some feverfew. Moving along we have some giant marigold African queen and various tomato varieties. This one's Roma. We have Garden Delight, Silvery Fir, a Russian heritage, striped one, I forget its name at the moment, Boxcar Willie, also some Tiny Tim and some Moneymaker, and we have some yellow banana chili plants just starting off here, and some sweet beauty, I think it's chocolate beauty, sweet peppers. This tray has got bloodflower, which are a milkweed type plant for the monarch butterflies, and we've got one little pink banana jumbo squash growing here. I've planted some more separately, and some eggplant seedlings just starting to come through. Underneath we've got some sugar baby watermelons. They did very well here last year, so I've decided to expand my varieties a bit. We have some sweet granite melon, some New Zealand spinach, more giant marigolds and some Victoria rhubarb, San Vitalia, a flower, parsley, lemongrass, soapwort, pennyroyal, sweetleaf fennel, dill and an ageratum, and a few other more catnips in the corner there. Underneath we have some Fordhook green silver beet, some mini white cucumbers, Cape gooseberries, dahlias grown from seed, some crimson sweet watermelon, some pots of miner's lettuce, and some crown pumpkins that are just beginning to germinate. Underneath a tray of cornflower and some spaghetti squash coming up in the toilet rolls. Toilet rolls are very handy for those bigger seeds, and these will be pink jumbo squash as well, hopefully. And in here I put some pieces of comfrey root to grow more comfrey plants. Down the bottom here in the corner we have some wormwood plants. Looking below the shelving unit now we have some more dahlias in little pots along there growing from seed. Some tomatoes that I sowed in August. We have subarctic plenty and some tiny tims. Some of the ones in larger pots I will keep growing in the greenhouse, and others will get planted out into the garden. There's some peppermint geranium, 3 trays of corn. One of them is rainbow Inca sweet corn, there's Karangamar sweet corn and some yellow popping corn. More pumpkin pots down the bottom there, just starting to germinate, and at the back a couple of trays of onions. We've got red onions and also long keeper brown onions. And here we also have a pea that self-sowed itself in the greenhouse. I don't know what variety, and I thought I'd just let it grow. Well, it's doing rather well, looking quite happy, and is now flowering. So it'll be interesting to see if I get some peas in here. On the shelves on the other side we have some dwarf purple TP beans, which are starting to bloom and looking very beautiful. A few Black Beauty zucchini, some Blue Lake Runner beans, which I really need to get planted out and growing up something. Some trays of yet to sprout seeds. I'm about to give everything in here a good water. We've got scallopini, more zucchini. We have lots of cucumbers. I've got Marketmore, which is a green one. We've got apple and lemon. Underneath, some tiny Tim tomatoes, some Empress of India clumping nasturtium, doesn't trail everywhere. Some alyssum, pastel carpet, and some dwarf Munstead lavender. This is corn cockle, used to be found widely in cornfields in the wild, but not so often anymore, and it's has a tall plant with a pink flower. A tray of celery, and some golden midget watermelons. And over here we have a hanging basket with a few tiny Tim tomatoes and one little pea plant in it, which will go outside soon. Some cuttings of kiwi fruit, male and female, rooting in pots. Some coreopsis, which is a flower. Some heading lettuce. Over in the corner I have some 5 different trays of potatoes that are chitting or sprouting and will get planted out tomorrow. Underneath we have some rainbow silver beet or bright lights silver beet, which is sprouting in the corner there. A tray full of zinnia, some more blood flowers, aster, feverfew. Underneath some white alyssum and some spring onions. And next to those I have a black raspberry, which I was going to plant with my red raspberries till I realised they're susceptible to more diseases if I do that, so I haven't chosen a spot outside for that. A couple of citrus plants, trees waiting to go out into the garden when the frosts are finished. Some sweet potato or kumara slips. I brought these, but nearly everything else in this greenhouse has been raised from seed apart from the raspberry and the citrus and the chilli that I bought and showed you earlier. Everything else has been raised from seed. We have zucchini. These are black and amber ones. Another subarctic plenty tomato. A lime that I dug up from the garden, as they just do not cope with the frost here. So I've put this in a pot in the greenhouse for this winter, and it will go outside in summer and back in the greenhouse in winter, and hopefully it will survive and thrive. Here I've got sorrel, borage ready for planting out, echinacea, and in this tub German chamomile, more alyssum, and some common sage. Well, that concludes this little tour of my greenhouse. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Many of these plants will be moved outside today to begin hardening off before I start planting them in the garden next week. Labour Day, which is around the 25th of October, is usually when we consider it to be safe from frosts and able to start planting out more tender crops. Between that and the week or two after that is a good time to start really planting. See you next time.